Take all this drama he's throwing on us today.
I'm teared up already.
Hey, Dennis, big night tonight for the graduates of the class of 2017, and we want to give a shout out to all those seniors and the parents and the accomplishments they've made over the course of the last 12 years. And, today is also an anniversary for you and I. 10 years ago today, we both graduated as well from Caldwell County School System.
Sure did. I was afraid you were going to mention something else. That's good. That's hard to believe. It's been 10 years. When Harry Bird retired, he went up and worked here for, with Tommy Cotton.
Yeah.
And I'd see Harry every now and then, and I said, Coach, how long you been out? And he'd say, 9 years. And I looked out, I said, you're lying. I couldn't believe it went that fast, but I do know now it has. It goes quick.
It's hard to believe that 10 years have passed, and and you got a bunch of kids that are graduating that I can remember when they were in the second grade, I guess.
Well,
riding the bus.
Yeah.
With Gary Baker.
When I drove the bus, I knew all these kids and their parents and everything, and now all these kids that are even graduating, I guess they were probably in the second grade when I got out. So it's been awful quick.
It has. And once again, we want to wish all of them the best of luck in their endeavors after graduation tonight, and we want them all to be safe. I know they have project graduation. I tuned in earlier in the week and heard Paulette Gray talk about the project graduation, and it's also a big night for a lot of seniors that have an opportunity to get a lot of money and win prizes out here at the CAB building, and we just want everyone to be safe.
Before we forget, I think last week I gave my shout-outs at the end, and I asked the people that I shouted. They said, well, no, we didn't hear it. We didn't finish at the end. So I want to go. I went down and got my truck license this week, and a couple of real good friends of mine that even graduated with me. I know they didn't want to put that on the radio. They don't know how old they are. But Jill Phelps, who was a Watson, and Tony Watson, and then her daughter, Jennifer, said that they listened to us religiously. And I said, well, don't put all that word on it. But we appreciate you all taking time to listen to our old voices up here. I appreciate it very much. And we're going to mention another guy here. I'll let you do that, and then we'll chime in.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Sidney McDaniels. And Sidney passed away this week. And, of course, he's a longtime employee of the Caldwell County School System. He drove a bus for us back, of course, when I came here in the mid-'80s, I guess. He was one of our bus drivers to all of the football games, and drove a route here, and, of course, later and went on and was a maintenance up at the bus garage. And, we're sorry to hear the passing of Sidney, and, our thoughts and prayers want to go out to his family and during this hard time. And his son played football for us, Mike.
Yes, he did.
McDaniel, and his daughter was in my PE and health class, I remember, back numerous years ago. So we just want them to know that we're thinking about them, and we want to give them a shout-out as well.
Sidney was always a real fine prankster.
Yeah.
Up at the bus
He
lot.
loved us, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. But I'd go up there and go get my bus every morning to get ready to go. And then one morning I went up there, and there was so much grease on my handle in my car that if I came back, I couldn't even get in it to go to school. And, of course, he looked at me and just grinned. You knew who did it, but he would never admit it.
Between him and Bob Waters, I don't know, both of them together were pretty good pranksters.
Well, Bob, he had a good stone face. He could kind of fool you, but Sidney, he'd always end up laughing. But I think Bob put him up to most of it, but Sidney was like that.
Yeah, he was. The sports season's winding down. The baseball and softball is fixing to come. The regular season's coming to an end. Tomorrow, I believe, our baseball team plays their final home baseball game against Marshall County here. And a former Caldwell County graduate, Mike Johnson's the coach over at Marshall County. And we want to wish them the best of luck tomorrow. And also the district tournament for baseball begins here Monday. Our Caldwell County Tigers are hosting out here at the ballpark, and I think we play Dawson Springs at 5:30 on Monday afternoon. Our girls softball, I don't know, Ty, if they wind up today, I don't think they have a game today. I think maybe yesterday was their final Webster County, and they had a loss at Webster County, and we want to wish them the best of luck. And I believe their district begins Monday at Dawson Springs, and they play the 7 o'clock game against Hopkins County Central. So we want to wish them the best of luck. And the girls and boys tennis season came to an end yesterday after having a tremendous season. I believe all of them were defeated in the first round except one, the girls' doubles team. Hannah Dixon and Chasey Phelps advanced to the second round, and we want to congratulate them on a tremendous season there. And anything else going on that we need to mention, Dennis, before we get into our guests?
Not really, and we're going to talk to Dwight about that, but I just wanted to say when I went out to the ballpark the other day and watched the games, boy, our baseball field for them is just tremendous. I mean, I don't know if anybody, even in the bigger schools that have funding from the Board of Education to take care of all of it, looks any better than our field does.
It really does, and you know, they just do a tremendous job out there, and we appreciate them. And we've got a lot going on, as you mentioned. We got a live guest here in the studio with us. We're going to talk to here in a few minutes, and you know, we've got another guest coming in from Caldwell County Middle School. Vic Gray is going to come and share us some information about middle school athletics. And we're going to take a short break right now, hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Dwight Meeks about the Youth Incorporated baseball and softball programs. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
You already knew that Trice Hughes in Princeton has the #1 service department in Western Kentucky, but did you know that when it's time for a new set of tires, we have you covered for that also? Our tire experts, Jeff Brandon, Garrett Harper, and Kathy Capps, have a combined 84 years of experience, and they are ready to serve you on any make and model vehicle. You'll be surprised at our competitive pricing on name brands such as BF Goodrich, Michelin, Goodyear, Yokohama, Cooper, and Uniroyal. Trice Hughes is also the only tire dealer in town to offer the economy price Kenda brand tire. All tires are road force balanced, providing you with the most comfortable ride possible, and rotations are free as long as you own your tires. Call the tire experts at Trice Hughes today. Quotes are free and the deals are worth the call. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Shoo, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
And here we are back on the air with the WPKY Sports Talk, Gator and DT. We have a wonderful guest today, and just mention a little bit about him. When I first moved back to town, which is, I won't say how long ago that was either, but I was a younger man, and we played a little softball together. I got lucky and got to know a few younger guys. I didn't know them before I left because I was a lot older than they were, but they let me jump in on their softball team, and I got to ride the bench and have a good time watching them. But that's something that I appreciated, and they kind of put me back in my saddle, and I got to run around with a lot of the guys that I really didn't know earlier. But our friend today is Dwight Meeks, and he's here to speak to us about whatever we ask him, and he's going to throw a Twyman boring on us. If we ask him something he doesn't like, he's going to answer something else. So.
And we also promised him we only would have one call in during this interview.
But we got to pick it.
We got to pick it, and you know whose name came up? Randy Durham.
Oh.
So if you're out there, Randy, give us a few minutes, and we'll let you call in and ask Dwight a few questions. Now, welcome to the show.
There. Well, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be with you guys today.
First of all, I don't really know how you want to talk about what you have been involved with or whatever, but I do know that you and Cray Lewis, David Brown, who all's on the board now of the Little League?
Well, on Youth Incorporated, they've kind of broke us down like in 3 divisions there, where you can concentrate on the division you're in. Like the baseball is Kyle Rogers and Tyler Brashear, Todd Griffin, Gary Goodacre.
Okay.
And football is Brad Harrelson, Jake Pepper, and Craig Lewis. And then the basketball, Jeff McDaniels, Melissa Thomas, Daniel Cook-Eco, and Chris Enos, and David Brown is our president of the Youth Incorporated.
Well, on that football committee, I see 2 out of the 3 that played football for me at Caldwell County High School, and I need a little of that Rydell business out of them this year. Can you put a good word in for me?
Well, they're going to fire you. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be advertising, but
Well, you got it in there. That's
they have. I've done some business with them in the past, so and I appreciate that.
But the other day we're doing some park improvements down there at the Youth Incorporated, and actually we had one of our parking lots sealed and striped by Kenny Maloney and DT here. And DT, he said, you know, the place is looking good, and there is room for more improvement, of course. But Dan said, why don't you come on and you know, talk about Youth Incorporated a little bit, and you know, we're very proud of our season, very proud of our park. As like I said, there's a lot of improvements. You've been down there too, Pat.
I have. I want to
getting
ask
those Little
you a
League
question
Yeah.
about the road that's been blocked off down through there.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think, of course, everyone's used to watching the baseball games out there in the right field
Right,
fence, and that's
yeah.
where I normally go.
Right,
but
right.
tell us a little bit what was
Well,
behind that.
I tell you, you know, after we thought about this last year, and we even tried it, we blocked it off for traffic because we're worried that safety is the big thing. And, you know, if a car hits a kid, you know who's going to win. The car's going to win. And we thought it was just the best thing for us to block that whole road off. Now you can let your kids just run around there and be kids and not worry about a car.
Right.
And, you know, and it's just have to get used to it, you know.
Change
like you
is
said.
a hard thing.
Change is
anywhere.
hard, and nobody likes change.
No.
I don't like change. But I think a lot of people's getting on board with that now.
Right.
And I think it's probably the best thing we have done down there, actually.
I tell you what, Dwight, I hadn't been out there a whole lot in a long time because my kids have been gone. But with all the fences and the way you've blocked it off, it is perfect. You know, it's kind of like a movie theater. You can take your kids to the movie and drop them off and then come pick them up and not worry about them. But I know when I drove down there, Gator, and I'd go down through that road to go sit out in the outfield and watch those ball games. If somebody hit a foul ball, those kids don't care what cars
No,
are coming
they're
through
going
there.
after a foul
and
ball.
it's really just
Yeah.
a one-lane road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had people driving here
Yeah.
and driving there, and it's honestly, I don't care. You know, I of course I'm not out there all the time, but I think it was the greatest thing you've done in a long time.
And we're very lucky that a kid hasn't got seriously
for
hurt
sure.
out there, you know. So we jumped on that, and
I think it's great.
yeah.
I really do. And, you know, the safety of our youth in this community is behind,
Yeah.
you know, decisions that are made by other people. And I know some people have to walk a little further, but, hey, a little exercise isn't going to help. And I think you've got it partitioned off where a handicapped person can come in
We
there.
do. We do.
and
We
park.
are actually the right next to the concession stand. We just had our parking lot sealed and striped. We've got several handicap places there.
I think
and
we
then-
put 8 in, didn't
I
we?
think it was, yeah. And then the rest of that is for the elderly. Now that's kind of hard to tell. You know, maybe I'm elderly now. I don't know, but
Should be.
or it should be. Yeah. I know I'm sitting beside 2 elderly guys, but
Here we go.
but we've got a sign coming, and we're going to put that sign up, and hopefully people and this today will get the word out
Right.
that that parking lot is designed mostly for your handicap and elderly parking. We can still walk,
Right. Sure,
and we
sure.
need to walk. Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, we need to exercise, and so we need to park a little bit further away, and it'll be our time later on to be parking up
Well,
there.
you know, when I was out there with you that day, I didn't even think about it. But when you showed me where you wanted the handicaps, even for the handicapped people that cannot get out of their vehicle, they can sit and watch the ball game.
Yes, that's right,
And
yeah.
in the car because we put them right at the area to where they can watch one park or the people can watch
Sure.
the other park.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
You had a very good idea,
Yeah.
buddy.
Well, I don't know if that was my idea.
Well,
but
whoever
I'll
thought
take
of it,
credit for
go
it.
ahead. I'll give it.
I'll definitely. And then we're also fixing to seal and stripe the rest of our parking lot because when you come into a game, you just start parking. People just don't park exactly right. And with this, when we stripe this, we're going to gain a few more parking places. by
You
that,
will.
you know.
I've kind of halfway figured it up. I think you're going to get at least 40 automatic spots.
Right.
And then, like you said, when they come in, they maybe won't abuse those, but then they can park somewhere else
Yes,
if
right,
they don't. But
right,
at least
right.
you have those to where the people, and it makes your traffic a lot easier.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Sure.
know, but
does.
I went out there that one time to Food Giant when y'all have. I don't know what was going on, but I mean there were cars all the way to Food Giant. That's how many
Yeah.
people you have out there at those ballparks.
Of course, right next to Food Giant is our T-ball field, and we have 18 teams in T-ball
Oh my
this
gosh.
year, and we have the 3 and 4 division and the 5 and 6.
That's great.
So that's where a lot of people park is that in, and
Right.
that's where you see it, and that is, I don't know how many kids that is, but 8, like I said, 8 in each division. Boy, it's a lot of
180
teams.
at least.
And we have a good time. We play the whole month of June with T-ball and try to teach them a little bit,
Yeah.
So we also
Have you taught the coaches anything? That's the thing. I know when I coached, it was hard. The coaches was about as bad as any of the players you got.
well, we
'Cause
talked
I
to our
was like,
coaches, yes, explain the rules and how we would like to see it done. But each coach has their own
Right.
philosophy to how to
Right.
teach.
I just-
They may not like the way I'm doing it on our team,
Mm-hmm.
but we try to teach them, get them ready for that next division, which is the pitching machine. And
Mm-hmm.
boy, I never went through the pitching machine. I'm sure you guys didn't either. But boy, that'd
I
be
don't
a-
think they made pitching machines.
I don't think
back
so.
when.
If you were,
No.
if you could,
They did. Well, they had the arm.
The
old-
arm that
the
come
old
around. That's
version.
right. Yeah.
that's
That's right.
been
Yeah.
many moons ago.
we didn't have T-balls. Matter of fact, I'm that old. We just
Yeah,
had
there was no
minor
T-ball.
league and little league, and if you couldn't hit it, you was over the rest of us on the bench.
I'd say there was 2 ballparks when you were out there.
Right, that's it. The Little League ballpark and the Pony League ballpark. That's it. The same 2 parks, though.
They're
That's
there.
how long
Right,
they've
that's
lasted.
right.
I mean, they're still there.
Yep.
Well, you know, Dwight, I've got a granddaughter playing 8 and under girls softball out there now. I've been out to the park once, and it was good to see all the improvements out there. Are you in charge of the umpires?
No.
Can't you get anybody better than Bolo out there umpiring these 8 and under games?
Well, we thought Bo done a pretty
Oh,
good
he
job.
does. He did a great job. I got to tell you this one
No,
story.
he is pretty good.
I got to tell you this one story. My granddaughter Belle Butts plays the pitching position out there, and he's of course the umpire stands right there behind the pitching machine, and he went out there, and of course I hollered out a couple times. They were playing Cray Lewis's team and Billy Hooks' team.
All right, okay.
The night that I went
I was
out
out there that night.
Were
Yeah.
you? Okay. So I hollered at Bolo, and Bolo, the next inning, my granddaughter comes out there, and he says to her, he said, "Are you kin to that old guy, that gray-headed guy sitting over there behind the third base fence? Is that your granddaddy?" She said, "No, that's my uncle." And of course, Bolo does. He does do a great job out there,
I
and
tell
all
you
the
what.
umpires. I know, it's hard to put together a schedule, especially as many kids that are involved out there. And as you mentioned, you've got so many players in the T-ball now, and I don't know how many leagues share different fields, but tell us a little bit about what's going on right now in terms of the summer league programs.
Well, we're in CCDL. We travel to Crittenden, Lyon, Dawson, and Trigg County. And of course, then you have Princeton here.
Right.
Trigg, we added Trigg this year. From Princeton, with baseball and softball together, we have 22 teams.
Man.
And then, of course, the 18 teams in T-ball. So there is some traveling. When you get out of T-ball, you're going to travel some,
Right.
But you're getting to take a road trip.
That's a lot of participation, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah,
You're
sure is.
when I think we were growing up, we had 6 teams.
Yeah.
About it. You know, no little.
Yeah.
That's really great that the younger kids can have something to do.
Yeah.
I believe there's the league my granddaughter plays in. There's 3 Caldwell teams in the 8 and under, and then as you mentioned, Crittenden County has a team, Lyon County, and I believe
Dawson and Trigg.
and Trigg. Okay, and they have to travel. So also, I've only been able to see 1 game so far. And
You
I
just
think
not able, are you?
I'm able. I'm just not able to travel to some of these other places. No, I know it's a good thing to have the participation that you've mentioned, and you know, you mentioned it's already started. Started when the 1st of May, and it
Yes.
runs all the way until.
July, like I say, T-ball will play just the month of June.
Okay.
And but I think we run into July. Of course, then we have an end of the year tournament out there also, and then after that we'll have fall league. We have some fall league baseball.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. I think this might be our 3rd year, I believe. And especially some of those kids that are coming out of T-ball who'll be moving up.
Right.
Gives you if you decide not to play football and if football's not your thing, then you can go and play fall league baseball, get you ready, maybe a little more
Right.
prepared for next year. You know.
That's great. I mean, have the facility. Why not utilize it?
yeah.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
put the hammer on it in end of June and you say, okay, we're shutting her down, well, you gonna mow it for nothing?
Right.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
so
yeah.
you might as well.
So we're utilizing that ball field, and I want to tell you, also out there, I want to give a little shout out
All
to
right.
Joe Van Hooser and his group that are playing a kickball tournament next weekend. Now, boys, I've never been to a kickball tournament,
Me either.
but it'll be out there.
I've been to a wiffle ball tournament.
I've been to a wiffle ball tournament, but this is, I think this is a little more,
kickball.
yeah, kickball. They're
Who
having
used to? Wasn't it Chick that
Chick
made?
Walker, yeah.
What was
That's
his
what he
old saying?
well, that's what he called soccer. Kickball.
Kickball. Yeah. Yeah, they have a kick. I talked to Joe Van Hooser last night. There's 6 teams already for next Saturday. Those that want to get in a team, you need to sign up by this coming Monday. That's the deadline. So if you don't have nothing to do next Saturday, come on out there. They asked me if I was going to play, and I definitely said no. But I'll be out there.
What
to watch.
field are they playing on?
Settle field, right there next to the concession stand.
Yeah, the old little league.
The old
field.
Little League ballpark. Yep.
So if you kick it over the fence, it's a home run.
It's a home run.
Well,
Yeah.
ain't that something?
Yeah, sure.
So
is.
now you're talking about the young Joe Van Hooser. You're not
Yes.
talking about Ben's
No, I'm not
dad.
talking about Ben's dad. Yeah, I'm
I
talking
thought
about
maybe
Philip's
Ben's
boy.
daddy,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, well, he might come out there.
And he
could.
just
He
drove
just
by.
drove by there.
He
We-
sure did.
We talked him up.
Oh yeah. So if anybody's interested in participating, they need to contact Joe.
Joe or Daniel Cookie Eco, some, you know, and they'll get you lined up. Allison Van Hooser, they'll know who to get a hold of. But I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, that'd be different. I real quick here, I want to say something about kickball. When I was at school, we'd go down every year, and these little kids would come, and I forget what you even call it when they come down in preschool tryout or whatever. You know, remember you'd go down to the primary school, and they'd take them through different sections to get them ready for the start of the
Stations.
next school. Yeah.
Right.
Well, they threw me at the kickball section to see if the kid had the ability just to kick the ball or whatever. And I'll never forget the one time I did. I rolled the ball and kid just looked at it about 5 times. Well, I got up about that close. That somebody kicked me, and it hit me right in the face. I said, man, he set me up.
Yep.
But that was my kickball experience.
Now that there's kickball, when is there going to be a dodgeball tournament?
Oh.
Well,
Of course, everybody back in the day when we were teaching, those kids loved to play dodgeball or war ball. We
Chris
called it.
Chris Cochran was the champion down at the old Butler building. Hey, he almost knocked the building down.
never played any dodgeball. I don't think I want to play any dodgeball.
Well, no.
I'd like to watch it.
They finally went to those rubber balls, but we used to throw those. They were throwing back in the day. They were throwing those volleyballs.
Ooh.
And you talk about when you
Kinda
get hit
sting.
with one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was something.
Yeah, kind of sting a little bit.
Well, Dwight, we know that Youth Incorporated does a tremendous amount for this community. You've been talking about baseball and softball, and we know the football, and without the support from the school systems, allowing us to play on the football field and in their basketball gyms during basketball, and of course it goes both ways. Our baseball and softball team utilizes out here at the American Legion ballpark. So, it just takes a whole team effort for something to run as smoothly as it does. And we appreciate your efforts and all the people on the board at Youth Incorporated. And also, we want to give a shout out to maybe some of your employees. I just saw a truckload of them just
I'm
drive
surprised
by and
they're,
start waving.
Yeah, I'm
Brian
surprised they're
Kortner
not-
was
yeah,
one of them.
Brian and Austin Coleman. I'm surprised they're not parked across the road there, trying to heckle me or something. But yeah, I'll shout out to them plant board employees. They're pretty good people to work for. And also, I want just say something about our county. I don't know, with DT, I know we've seen it. We had some drainage problems, and the county come down there, spent about a week down there just helping us out with our drainage problems, get the water off the field. Thanks Judge and Wendell Lane, his crew, for doing that for us, And well, like I said, we have a lot of other stuff planned for out there. It takes funds, of course,
And they torn some buildings down out there. And is that going to be more parking for?
well, of course, the old Tressler building was tore down, and
I see a couple of
you know, I
18-wheelers parked out there.
yeah. They're really not supposed to be there, but
All right.
but that is parking there, and we're going to try to get rid of that. But like I say, there's a lot of other stuff that we have planned. A lot of people, well, why don't you do this? Well, give us time. We're working little by little to get it done, and but we're kind of proud of the facility right now, and it's coming.
How long have you been on this?
I think this is my 4th or 5th year.
Well, see, that's the only way you can get things done. If you have a board for 1 year or 2 years and then you change every time, you're gonna have different opinions and different things. But so we want you to know we appreciate all of you all that are on that board and that stay with it. It's a great thing for the county. I tell you what, you don't find a better county than this county when it comes to
We've
help.
had a lot of support.
I'll tell you, it's amazing.
A lot of support. I want to tell you a funny story. You were talking about some funny stories there a while ago, and I don't know if my daughter's listening today, but when she was little, I was trying to teach her how to play ball, and my wife was catching and I was throwing. And I said, "You need to choke up." And she said, "Choke up." I went, "Yeah, choke up." And she went.
Now
I'll
that
tell you what,
sounds
that
like
made me
something.
so mad.
That sounds like something you'd do.
Yeah, I looked at my wife. She said she doesn't understand me. Okay, all right. So, but
That's
choke
pretty
up.
good one.
That is good. That is good.
I remember that one.
Oh yeah. She remembers it too.
I bet. Now everybody will.
Oh yeah. But no, I do appreciate you letting me come on the radio.
Well,
today.
we appreciate you
shout out
showing
to
up.
the Youth Incorporated. If you don't have nothing to do, come down there and watch those kids. They have a good time.
Yep.
A lot of good games down there, and we just have a lot more going on, and look forward to in the future of what's going to happen down there. And I just appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, Dwight, and the job that you do in Youth Incorporated. And I was telling Dennis some time back how far we've really come in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first moved to this community and Youth Incorporated, especially being involved with Youth Incorporated football. We had 4 local teams that played every Saturday morning out there.
That's right, yeah.
And, of course, we as a coaching staff had to go out and referee. We donated our time to referee and those football games. And now you've got other communities involved, and it's come a long way. And baseball and basketball, and we sure do appreciate the work that you've done and the board, and again, a shout out to your boss for allowing you to come in this morning and talk to us. And if there's anything else you'd like to add before we take
you said it's not when Youth Incorporated. A lot of people think just baseball, but it is football and
Yes.
basketball.
Right.
And it didn't used to be.
No, and there is a lot, and they
Soccer
travel.
is
And
soccer too, yeah.
Soccer, I think, is one of ours, or maybe volleyball. I think it's volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I think the Soccer Association does
right, yeah,
the
right,
youth soccer.
but there is traveling, and those leagues too.
Right.
Right.
So it's not like it used to be, and
No.
just stay here in your hometown. Now you travel, and hats off to all those coaches and people who give their time up there at the concession
For
stands
sure.
and stuff. And I want to say,
Yeah, I think my wife used to go up there several nights out of the week and work in the concession.
sure.
I think that all the employees at Farmers Bank in different places around
Yeah,
town
I believe
donated
so.
their time to to go out and help out.
And, you know, I want to say a thank you to Ray Mitchell, who is our groundskeeper out there at the ballpark. He does a super job.
Great job.
Melanie Lamb is in charge of concessions, and Steve Farmer is in charge of the umpires. And those guys are our paid employees. The rest of them are not paid.
And you got somebody else working out there too, don't you? I forget. Cray was telling me a name, and what was his name? He drives a white truck and works. I can't remember. I hate that. Doggone it. Well, had him in school. And when Cray said his name, I knew him. But anyway, he'll call in and tell me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Well, Dwight, once again, we appreciate you taking time out, coming in, talking to us, and we want to wish you the best of luck in this summer, and we want to encourage everyone in the community to come out and support
Yes.
Youth Incorporated and these youngsters that they're our tomorrow.
That's right.
You know, I showed you a picture of my grandson this morning.
Now, you brought him up too many times. this
And I want to give a shout out to my grandson, Jack Sparless. He had a birthday this week, this past Tuesday, and Taylor and Riles went out to the football field and took some pictures
Right.
of him throwing a football, and he had the perfect form. And I
David
told
Bar-
David Barnes
he-
he's going to be our next great
He had that
quarterback.
picture on his phone last night. I saw him, and he showed it to me, and he asked me if I'd been working with him. I said, no, that's Pat. I said, Coach Gates has been working with him on that
Oh,
foot,
yeah,
throwing
right.
that ball.
Not I. Once again, we want to thank Dwight Meeks for coming in and talking to us about Youth Incorporated and the Summer League baseball programs. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger. We're going to take a short break and listen to our sponsors and come back with another interview with Victor Gray.
So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. New car and truck buyers, listen up. It's the time of year that the 16s are rolling out and the 17s are rolling in. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we offer 7 new American car lines to choose from, awesome trade-in allowances, end-of-the-year model rebates, and great financing options. Some people think they have to go out of town for a great deal. We think shopping in Princeton, Kentucky at Trice Hughes Incorporated might just be the best decision you ever make. Give Trice a try before you buy. And as always, if we don't have what you're looking for on our lot, we'll find it for you. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. You've heard about OnStar, but have you heard about the new Remote Link app available for your smartphone? Now on most all GM vehicles that are equipped with OnStar, you can lock and unlock your vehicle from your phone. You can start your vehicle remotely from anywhere, and you can check diagnostics while browsing your phone. So let's get this straight. You can be out of town, but your vehicle is at home, and your daughter needs her ball bat in the back seat, and you have the keys in your purse. Panic? No way. Just unlock your vehicle from your phone and voila, happy teenager. Stop by Trice Hughes in Princeton for info and setup.
And welcome back to Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT, live here in WPKY Studio 103.3 FM. We're very honored to have in the studio with us the athletic director at Caldwell County Middle School, Victor Gray. Welcome to the show, Vic.
Glad to be here.
Victor, I know we were talking a little bit before we came back on the air about there's a lot going on in middle school athletics.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, right now, end of the school year is going on, so we shut down everything. But
I was going to ask you, how happy are you about today?
Today's a good day.
Today is a very good day.
So we shut down, but as far as going to sports, we've been really active this year. We got about 8 different things that middle schools can do now. As far as basketball, football, soccer, track and field, wrestling, and then we got high school baseball from 7th grade on up. So they got a variety of different things that they can do and do. So it's excitement, and being an AD is keeping everything going. It's kind of exciting, but it's nerve-wracking at times. Getting stuff ordered and keeping up with all the coaches. And we do have some great coaches right now. We do, yeah.
Well, middle school athletics has changed tremendously from back even 10 years ago when DT and I were involved with it.
Yes, sir.
Now, I believe, doesn't middle school fall under the KHSAA guidelines?
we follow.
Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about.
It's like I say, we do everything the high school does. And one thing we do more than I think we are academics. Our academics are the most important things for these middle schoolers. So we stay on top. I stay on top of them as taking Coach Riley's place. He told me stay on the academics, and that's what we do. We make
Right.
sure that they academically eligible all the time and doing what they need to do to be good after sports. So,
Right.
but that's what we do. And going by the KHSAA rules has helped me out quite a bit. I just read over and follow to the T.
There you go.
Makes it easy for me to do so as a thing that I do.
Well, Vic, you mentioned there's a lot going on, and we know that the girls' soccer season just ended, and they had a lot of success. And tell us about. We were going to have the coach in here, and Eric, and
Coach
he was.
Jacobs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eric Jacobs, and he was unable to make it a couple weeks ago, and with his busy schedule, too much was going on at the high school. But tell us a bit about how far the girls' soccer program has came.
This is the 3rd year for soccer at the middle school, so 2 good years, and this year the girls surprising. They if you peak at the right time, and they did. They peaked at the right time, and they won district runner-up, and could have easily won the championship. They was in each game, lost by 1 or 2 goals each time. Now the boys, they're young. We got a young boys soccer team. Most of them 6th graders. And if you get out there during the season, our guys will be 4.5 foot, and the 8th graders on the other side, they almost 6 foot, and we took a lot of thumps this year. But I told Rat Miller, he's our coach for the middle school soccer, him and Mr. Ball, Adam Ball, if they stay together in a few years, we're gonna have a really good program as far as the boys. But the girls are really exciting to play, and so it was a good thing, good season for us.
Well, with soccer being held in the spring, that doesn't interfere with a kid wanting an opportunity to play middle school football. He can do both. He can play football in the fall and then soccer in the spring, and really that's beneficial for both programs.
That's a real good benefit for them because they ain't got to choose. They get to do both.
Right.
And because we do have most of our soccer players, the boys-wise, they are football players.
Right.
So they taking up another opportunity to get a workout. As long as you keep them doing something, I think it's better because just sitting in the house playing video games. But it's a good thing they got it in the off season, or not the off season, but spring and fall. They got 2 different options to play.
And another sport that I know several schools in this area are starting to start again is middle school softball. Has there been any developments or any interest there to ever start a middle school softball team at
the
Caldwell County Middle
first of the
School?
school year, we had some inquiries about starting it up, our new a middle school softball team. And it was some inquiries, and we talked about it. And just right now, we don't have the funds for it.
Right.
Middle school, we just got to fund everything. We got to earn our own money. So right now, it's just at a stalemate. And hopefully we will one of these days have it. I think those young ladies need the opportunity to have that middle school, Caldwell County Middle School on their shirt when they're out there on the field.
Do y'all fall under the same guidelines with Title IX as the high schools do? Do you have the middle school sports? Do
No.
they have to equal out?
I can't answer that question. I'm not sure. But most of the time it does equal out anyway. You know what I'm
Right,
talking about?
right.
It does. Girls and boys sports. Like I said, we offer quite a bit of sports for both male and female to do if they choose to do it. So it's exciting to be at middle school. The kids I watch them come in as 6th graders, and you see the transition from 6th to 8th grade. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, they taller than you, they bigger than you, they think they can do whatever. But it's a good transformation from then and then, and I enjoy it. I really do. I miss coaching. I used to coach, and I miss coaching it quite a bit. But ADs get me a chance to see all the kids and be a part of their lives.
We got a former AD in here at the middle school as well, sitting down here on this.
I didn't know
end.
that.
For many years.
didn't know that.
He was called the athletic
We,
director. I don't.
we didn't have AD then. It was just sign up to the games and go. We
But
didn't-
you took care of most
Well,
of it.
I did it, but I don't do what he does. But I know what you're going through.
It's
It's
and we
challenging.
didn't have that many sports then.
Well, we got plenty.
When I was doing it, it was just make sure you call the team and make sure they're coming.
Yes, sir.
And just make sure you had enough help running the gym and the scoreboard and things like that. But I didn't have to do what you're doing, and I know what you're going through.
It is.
And Coach does too. He was an AD. That's why I'm not going to say a lot. He can ask you more intelligent questions. Than
I don't know. I've always said, and someone told me years ago before I took the athletic director's job, that it's probably one of the most thankless jobs that you'll ever see. Yeah.
It is.
You
It
hear
is,
a
Coach.
lot of more complaints than you do attaboys, and that's one thing you just have to deal with. And of course,
Gotta
dealing
have
with
thick skin.
parents,
Yeah, you do.
you
I
got to
do.
deal
I
with
do, 'cause I
parents.
do,
You
yeah.
got to deal with coaches. You
Yeah.
got to deal with athletes, faculty, and staff. One of the biggest challenges I had, and I was very fortunate at Caldwell County High School, that our faculty volunteered their time to take up money at these events.
Yep.
And they were,
Yes, sir.
most of them did more than 2 a year.
They still do that in middle school. Yeah, we sign them up at the beginning of the year, and they work, and they have no complaints. That's the good thing about our
Yeah.
staff. They have no complaints. They work 2 games a year. That's basketball, then football, and soccer now. Like I say, so they don't complain. I just make sure everything's set up and
Exactly.
they're good to go. Yes. Yeah, so
And
That's right.
and I've always said it's good that the student athletes see those faculty members
Yes,
out
sir,
there,
it
and
is, it
not
is.
just see them in their classroom, but see them participating
It is.
in a sport. And
And they ask you at the middle school, "Are you coming to my game?"
yep.
And I said, "I'll
Oh,
be there."
yeah.
I'm going to be there. Yeah,
Middle
I'll be
school
there.
Kids
kids
that,
are different than the high school.
It
There's
is.
no
Vic-
offense, but
Vic, we had a big day this week on Wednesday out here at Trover Clinic. We had sports physicals.
Yes, sir.
And of course, I go there, about every day.
Mm-hmm.
and they were telling me that they probably served over 300 and some athletes, and not just high school athletes, but middle school athletes as well, and expressed the importance of an athlete that hasn't had a physical. And of course, this day and time, the liability issues that are at stake.
It is. Very important. I mean, it's like I say, we're going by the KHWA rules now. If you don't have a new physical by June 1st, you can't participate in any sports.
And they're yearly.
Yearly, every year.
Year-
Got to have
every
it
year.
yearly. And had a big crowd out there. I was out there myself Wednesday, and passed out more physical forms. With middle schools, it's so crazy. I started passing them out a week ahead of time. Then the day of the physical, Wednesday, I passed out more than I ever had because they didn't lost them, forgot
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Right.
But they got them filled out, and they got to have that physical because if you don't have a physical, a sports physical, it's different than the physical you come into when you're going into the middle school. You get that physical, but you have to have a sports-related physical.
And we need to give a shout out to Trover Clinic
Yes, sir. they
for
do.
allowing these athletes to come in, as well as those doctors. We have doctors from all over that volunteer their time.
they donate that, don't
They
they?
donate
it
their
doesn't cost
time
these
one
kids
time
anything.
a year, and
I know back when I was doing it years ago, before they did all that, Dr. Settle and some of them would give a physical free, but some of these kids that would move into town, wouldn't have one. And they didn't know where to go, and you'd hate to send them somewhere and it cost what, $80, $90 even to get a physical,
I would say
and then
so
them
now.
stay out for the sport one day.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
that's true.
we used to call Dr. Janina's office
Yes.
quite a bit. To
Yeah,
get 'em in
Doc took care of us.
as quick as possible. We could get them in that day, and
Yep.
but times have changed, and of course, there's been some episodes around
Yes,
the state
it has,
where
it
kids have, unfortunately, had some things arise in the past, and everyone's got to cover themselves.
We have to.
And one thing that coaches, I always emphasize to all my coaches when I was the athletic director, you don't let that kid step on the field to practice or in the weight room without him having an up-to-date
That's the
physical.
same way I am. Don't let them do it. And I actually go. I tell them make sure they read over that physical, because they have to have a copy of it. I keep a copy, and they read over that the physical of that young man or young lady. See if they got any problems. So if something does happen, you might know what to do in a situation. So I make sure they read over it and make sure they understand what's going on with their child. Because a lot of kids now got asthma, they got inhalers, and they need that on them at all times.
Yeah.
You can't just go pick up one from somewhere. So
And you couldn't tell these coaches and encourage them enough to make sure they have that physical form with them.
Yes, sir.
At every practice,
Every practice.
every game, they have to take those with them.
They do.
In case of emergency.
You never know what might happen.
Can occur at any
I
time.
agree.
and
It is so.
You always gotta, the safety of the kids.
That's the most important. Yeah, you
And-
got to have it with you all the time.
Well, also, Vic, the people that you work for, the administrative part of it, the backing that you get is very important.
It
and
is.
and from what I can see out there, you have your principal and your assistant principal both participated in sports.
Yeah.
So they know a little bit about what's going on
They
in
do.
sports
They
action.
do.
And
That's a good thing.
it makes a difference.
Yeah, it really
It-
does.
it helps.
They always I got their full support. Anything I ask for them, as far as equipment wise, might take a little while to get
Right.
at the middle school, but
Yes,
we
you're
still get
exactly
it.
right.
So
Mhm.
so they back me up with all I do, and just the kids are the main focus of it.
Right.
That's the main thing about it. I just
Well, I can tell you, we've been very blessed in this community. And, for our coaches to make sure they're aware of it, anything that may occur during the course of a season that may come up, that, they're always in communication. They were with me.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you're not always there to supervise every event,
right. Yes, sir.
and especially on the road, if
Yeah.
something does occur, I always try to tell my coaches, if something comes up, call me.
Yeah, that's
And
the thing.
let me be informed, and if
Yes.
there's some help that's needed, then I'll get you the help you need. We've had buses break down before on the
knock
way
on wood.
trip.
Hadn't had that yet.
boy,
so.
that's good.
Well, and we've been blessed to have bus drivers
Yes, we
that
do.
drive
Yes.
for free.
Yes.
And I mean, a lot of times we had parents,
Really?
that
Right now,
they were going to the games anyway. We were
most of the
back
coaches,
in our day.
most of the coaches now are drivers.
Well,
they
that's-
drive themselves to save themselves
and
some
that's
money
no
because-
easy thing.
No, it ain't. I don't think I could do it. When I was coaching, ain't no way I could drive a bus after we lost a good game. We'd have trouble. I'd be mad all the way home. I heard y'all talk about that. I would not drive. But they do. Most of our drivers, wrestling, Coach Walls, Miller, and Jacobs, they all drive. So it's a good
Boy,
thing.
that's
Saves
great.
money.
I want to tell you what, back when Gator and I drove, they said, can you drive a bus? And we'd say, well, I don't know. And they said, you got a license? Yeah. Well, you get in the bus and go.
Have
Now
you ever
have-
driven a farm
I
truck?
couldn't
That's
pass
what
it.
my question is. Have you driven a farm truck?
I couldn't pass the test right
Well,
now to be able to drive that bus. I
Times
mean,
have
it's
changed.
tough.
I don't think I can handle the responsibility of having all those kids behind me because I'd be thinking about it all the time.
Right.
If something would go
Yeah,
wrong. or
it's
something.
scary. It really is.
Yeah.
But anyway, is there anything now we're sitting here running our mouth more than you have? Have you got something that you
No,
want to mention?
I do have something. It's not sports related, but talking about community disciples. We got project graduation going on tonight. You know,
That's right. Your wife is in charge of this,
she
I
is.
believe.
She is. She's in
Oh,
charge.
that means you're in charge.
yeah,
You're helping.
I love my wife, but she was stressing this morning. I said,
It's
know,
a
gonna
team
be-
effort,
Yeah,
Vic.
it's gonna be all. Yeah, I know. So we got to go set up tonight, and keep the young folks entertained. I don't stay all night. I go set up and take down. I'm a part time, but
There you go.
But we got other folks coming out helping with project graduation tonight and
Good
keep
deal.
these young people safe. Community Disciples also up to tell you about a banquet we got going on August the 4th. We got Greg Smith coming to town.
Man.
Oh,
So
man.
we are so excited about that, having him come back and speak for us at our banquet.
That'd
and,
be great.
That's something, Dennis, that maybe if they're fortunate enough to be asked back to do this show, we can bring Greg in.
Yes, sir. It'd be
The
good.
Friday morning.
That
and-
would be good.
And interview
We'd
him.
have to bring in some older people to talk to him, though. I mean, I remember watching him.
Well,
but he's a little bit older than I am.
I think
Earl Stevens, some of them.
Earl
today.
Stevens or
Ed Sell.
William Fralick. William graduated.
But anyway,
believe,
I
with
got
him.
off subject on that. But yeah, that's wonderful with Greg.
It is. We were so excited. He agreed. We called him last year, but he had a banquet in Western the same week. He said, I'll be come next year. And we called him. He said, well, I'll be there. Just tell me that.
Well, I tell you what, his daddy was the best man I ever knew,
Mr. Henry
and
was
Greg is
Oh,
better.
man.
You know,
Yes,
he's
he
as good as they come.
Oh, yeah.
I got
No
to.
doubt about it.
I tell you a story. I got to play with him when I was a senior. He had come to town, spent time with Sheila and his parents, and we was in a dirt bowl in Paducah. And I thought I was good. He was an older guy then. He wasn't playing. He played with me and his Dwight D. We call him D.
Yeah.
And we was down there, and we was in the championship game. He had his son Keith. He was a great player for California. I think Cal.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
I remember.
And we was playing this championship game, and I froze up. He called me. He said, "Gray, you take off a little while." And he went in. He beat everybody. He just started playing, and it was about. I'm sitting there looking at all, because he
I
was so
bet.
good
He
at that
was.
age, So he was excited to be around me. He was real nice. Real
He's
nice.
sure a great person.
Yes.
Great
yeah.
person.
Well, Vic, we sure do appreciate you coming in, and once again, once school is ending here,
Yes, sir.
it won't be long. You'll be starting back.
Already
You-
preparing. You know
you're
how it
already
is.
preparing,
Yes.
and I know you got a lot of fall sports
We
that
do,
are
we do.
fixing to strike up, especially football and what else you have in the fall besides
Basketball,
Basketball.
boys and girls basketballs. I told them I'd say something about them, and
And
especially
you know,
basketball.
football ends early. It
does.
really does.
Well, we got we end
Before the 1st October, doesn't it? Around
our last game's on the 3rd of October.
3rd October.
Then basketball starts at the 17th of October, so we go real quick. Football has a big schedule this year. I try to let the coaches get into their scheduling. You know, I schedule a game, but I want to hold it play. So we got like 11 games for football this year. So Steve's excited about that. We'll see how they turn out and everything. But looking forward to the fall. But need some time off. You know, as I used to tell Paulette, and she's an educator, when I was working at the penitentiary, I said, you don't need all the summer off. Fellas, we need the summer off. Yeah, y'all been in it. I tell them now, I'm sorry for ever saying that. Got to have the summer off because you need a break. Really do.
Well, let me ask you a quick question here. Since it's August the 4th, you say Greg's
August the
coming?
4th.
Now, is that the week of Dotson Days?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
start after
if
Dotson
we're
Day
not going to
weekend.
be here, you know, on our show, then maybe we could start that week and let him have it. But I just wanted to mention, I've been to Dotson Days quite a few times here in the last years or so, and that's one of the greatest things. I'm going to tell you what, they have some basketball going on up there too that people need to go see, and that's one of the better days that I have in all year. And I go sit with my old buddy Dickie Pettigrew, and that man can cook. Now let me tell you, he can cook. Now if he don't like you, you don't get to come in and eat. But and Brown tries to slip in all the time and eat and leave, you know. But anyway, I want to encourage everybody. And one other thing about the Greg Smith deal is this a paid? Are people going to get
Yes.
tickets?
Yeah, we'll start selling tickets, you know, in July.
Okay.
It's just
And where are you having it?
It's going to be at Northside Baptist Church, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
On August. It's a Thursday. That's the kickoff to Dotson Day weekend.
Right.
Okay.
So it's on a Thursday, and it's from 6 to whatever Mr. Smith gets done. So hopefully
Sheila and I attended last year's, and
Yes.
you had Justin Grooms
Yes.
here, and
He's
he
another
just
speaker.
a tremendous,
Yes.
tremendous job.
Yeah.
And we want to encourage everyone in the community to,
Yes.
you know,
That'll
buy
be
a
a
ticket
fine
to
time.
come out and listen.
I want to tell you, if you don't even want to listen to him talk, it'd be great just to see the man. He's an icon. I'm telling you.
He
Greg,
is.
Greg Smith he played with Lou Alcindor.
Right.
That's what I called him.
Yeah.
And
He
Kareem
did.
Abdul-Jabbar. You know, he's been around the world.
Not only that, they also pass out a lot of scholarships.
We
the
give
banquet.
out four scholarships. Give some out, back at class tonight, but we don't give them their money until that evening
Right.
on August the 4th. So we have 4 scholarships we're giving out again this year. So
Great.
yeah, it'd be good. Come on out.
Just
It's a good fundraiser for us, for the year for the community disciples and for the kids. We give back to the community. Like I
Right.
say, it's all about the community.
And
So-
you can't say enough about taking on Project Graduation.
Yes, it's
What
a
a
big
chore
task.
that is.
It's a big task, y'all. And Paulette takes most of it. We just there to go for this and go for that, but she handles all the other parts of it. So hopefully have a good night tonight, and everybody gets home safe in the morning, and the kids be safe, and they win a lot of money. And
There's a lot of people that donate a lot of dollars,
it
and we
does.
want to thank all those
yeah,
sponsors
we do.
that
We
do
do. Thank
give.
you. And they because they like y'all said earlier, this is a giving community.
Great.
You ask, they give, so that's especially with the community disciples or whatever organization you're in. If you ask, they'll give it to you.
And
So
a lot of
we're proud
times they don't even ask what for.
No, they don't
If
just-
they
Right.
know you've been here, and you will say, we need it. Well, how much you want?
Yes, sir. That's what they do.
And,
that's
And
great for a
especially
small
if
community.
kids are involved.
Yeah,
The
and,
kids
and
involved.
these people in this town don't have any more money than anybody else.
No, sir.
I mean, they give. But anyway, everybody remember about the Greg Smith thing. That's going to be wonderful.
And once again, it's August.
you
August
might,
the
that's
4th.
what I was
August
going
the
to say. You
4th.
might have to
6 o'clock
move
north
that.
side.
You might have to make it bigger place.
We hope last year we had a big crowd. You won the biggest crowd when Justin spoke,
Yeah,
but
it was
hopefully when
good.
Greg, we wanted a big crowd. He's
Yes.
coming back. He hadn't been to town in a while, so we hope
Right.
we have a big turnout for him and for us too, because we enjoy. I look forward to seeing him. I hadn't seen him since that day, and that was back in '83. That's a long time not to see
Right.
somebody. So
I got to see him play when I was in college. That was a good thing. He was at Western when I was.
And I know that they retired his jersey out here at basketball.
Yes, sir.
It's been several years
Yes, sir.
ago, and
They did.
I think Harry Bird was the principal at the time that I think they did Dwight
I
and
remember
Greg
that, yeah, at the same time.
And
I went
we had
to
a
it, yeah.
tremendous crowd
Yeah,
at that
I remember that.
basketball
I did
game.
too.
I remember that. And once again, we got a challenge, Caldwell County and Princeton. Buy your ticket now
That's
for
right.
Princeton Dotson Days banquet. And we want to see you there on August the 4th and listen to Greg Smith. And hopefully we'll have him on here live on Friday morning. The next day.
It'd be great if we were here.
Good.
Vic, is there anything else you'd like
No,
to add before we wrap up?
I appreciate y'all having me on, and thank y'all fellas. I enjoy y'all show. I do.
Well,
Well,
thank
Vic,
you
we
very
enjoy
much.
you, and we appreciate the job that you do with the youth in this community and all the sports that you run out there at Caldwell County Middle School. And we want to give a shout out to Steve Smiley for allowing you, the
Thank you.
principal,
Yeah,
to come and share this time with us, as well as all the administrators in the school
That's
system.
right, it is. Thank
And
you.
I will say, when you said you were in Paducah and Greg told you to sit down and take a break, I remember when you were a senior and you played here. You were a very good player.
I think that was a
your-
turning point right there.
Your team in your senior year was very good.
well, thank you.
And
all
you know
were
what?
very
He
good.
still looks like
Yeah, I know
he
it.
can go out there today and play. I see him at the fitness center a lot.
I have to bluff those middle schoolers. I can't tell them how good. I can't go very long, but I just to look.
There you go.
Right. Well,
You
we've
tell
been,
them like Greg did. Tell you, you can go. You all go take a break.
Go take a break.
once again, we want to thank Vic Gray for coming in and sharing with us, and also Dwight Meeks as being our guest in Youth Incorporated. And Dee, you got anything else you want to add before we?
I want to just give a quick shout out to Vic's brother Doe. He took care of me when I first moved back to town. Coach G run him ragged, but he took care of us. He's a good man.
Not my man Doughboy.
That's him.
Oh Lord,
I'll tell him you said.
Doughboy. I say, hey, Doughboy works out too at the
does.
fitness
I know
center.
he's really moved on.
He's a new man, and David Gray. I see David out
We all
there.
try to stay in shape.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all do a good job.
We all try.
Once again, thank you, Vic, for coming
Thank you,
in,
fellas.
and we want to thank all of our listeners out there and the people that viewed us live on stream on WPKY 103.3 FM, the Tiger Sports Talk, and we want to encourage anyone out here in this community to continue to give these sponsorships to the radio station so we can keep this thing going. You've been listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM with DT and Gator. Good morning.